Hello, everybody. I welcome back to my channel. I am Gebo the Shaman, and it's great to see y'all. Yeah. So today we're talking about codependency, and there goes ESPN. Let me mute that, and yeah. So today we're talking about codependency, and um, you know, it's a hard thing for a lot of people to grasp their head around, like what it is and like what the broader context is. So, for example, in my last video, Codependency Masterclass, the intro to codependency, I basically gave you like an outline of how codependency came to be in yourself and like the forms that it can take from um, not only being like a people pleaser, but also being like isolated and just kind of hating people in general and just wanting nothing to do with anyone. So yeah, and I was definitely on the latter end of that spectrum. But yeah, so for me at least, you know, I was a kid with a dysfunctional family, and so I basically decided like, well, I it was kind of an unconscious or subconscious thing for me because everyone wants to be loved. Let's just say that. Like no matter who you are, no matter what you what your belief is or whatever, everyone wants to be loved, and that's a key need. That's not a want, that's a need, especially for children. And so when we were kids, when we didn't get that love, when we wanted that love, um maybe it took the form of attention of, your parents, kindness from your parents or things like that. Because love is an action. It's not just a feeling. It's also an action. So anyway, so we didn't get that love from our parents. That's just the bottom line. Our parents could have provided us for like our physical needs, our everything for school, everything for food, shelter, clothing, all that stuff. But deep down, we didn't feel loved, like have that emotional connection. So, um, it's a hard thing because that's what kids want is that love and nurturing and attention and affection and things like that. So, essentially, we just, we decided we needed to do something about that. And so we people pleased. We did what our parents expected of us or wanted us to do, even though, sometimes they might have not even communicated that way. Like, oh, I expect you to be, you know, to be funny. I expect you to be, kind and all these things like caretake them, please them, like be nice to them, be nurturing to them, be their mother kind of thing. That's happened in a lot of people with codependency is they had to parent their parents, and that was just not their responsibility, not their job. They were killed. They were kids. They were children. So we all learn how to do these things like adopt these behaviors and things like that in order to please our parents. And so it's always difficult when you have that dynamic of your parents are you know you're you're there to please your parents, not your parents there to please you or love you kind of thing. So it goes from pleasing the parents and stuff like that, and even pleasing the parent could be just getting out of the way, like because a lot of times with me especially, my parents would made me feel like a burden. So I would oftentimes just please them, just get out of their way, just go to my room and just be by myself to get out of their way. And so that was a form of people pleasing. And now it's turned into I hate people. You know? It's like I turned it into I hate people because nobody wants to be around me, you know, kind of things like that. And so I would continue to isolate, even though that's, you know, my childhood is done and over. I'm 36 years old. You know, it's like it's done, it's over, it's, you know, complete, finished. But yeah, I still feel a need to basically hide myself from everyone else, hide myself from the world, and that's what I do a lot of. And you know, for myself, I've recently discovered, like, my teacher keeps pounding into my head, like, what is the thing that you want most out of life? Because if you're not going after that thing, then you're not living true to yourself, or being true, like living for your soul, living for you and your true desires. And so if you're not doing that, then, you know, it goes against you, and it goes against your soul, which is, again, a form of codependency. So I discovered that, like, the thing that I wanted most was to be loved. And that doesn't just mean sex. It doesn't just mean, like, a romantic partner. It could be just, you know, anything, any form of love. And so, you know, yes, I do this for myself. I take care of myself. I'm kind with myself. I'm patient with myself. And all that is great, but I'm still seeking something outside of me. So that like tells me that I'm ready for something outside of me. I'm ready for a relationship or things like that. So, you know, it's one of those complicated things, and I'll pause there. Sorry, guys. So, codependency, you know, it can take multiple shapes. It can take multiple forms. What I was saying about, you know, wanting love and stuff, it's, you know, I've done the 12 steps, I've done all my recovery work, and so I feel like I'm now able to have healthy, loving relationships. And so it's, you know, it's coming from a place of a healthy desire, and not like wanting a dysfunctional relationship with, like, toxic people or things like that. So instead it's, you know, a healthy desire. So it takes patience, and it takes, you know, discernment to discover, like, or to discern whether it's a healthy longing or an unhealthy longing. So, um, back to, like, codependency. You know, it's hard to distinguish some behaviors from codependency and not be codependency. So it's really important for us to distinguish, like, okay, what is my intention for doing something? For example, like giving a gift. We could give a gift and want people to love us and you know, accept us and be kind to us and things like that. That could be our motives for giving a gift. But on the other hand, we could just say, "Oh, I just want this person to have this," and I don't care what they do with it. I don't care if they like it or, like, you know, like, of course we want people to like things, but like someone who is not codependent would say, like, I don't care if they throw it away, if they, you know, if they sell it, or if they, you know, whatever. It's theirs. It's a free gift. And a free gift means that you don't have any attachments to any outcome. People could like it, could hate it, could burn it, could throw it away, things like that. Um, so that's how you know if you're being codependent or not. With every decision we make, that's the standard. Am I going to be resentful later if things don't work out? That's the you know, the like, I guess, prerequisite for, am I being codependent or am I not? that kind of thing. So yeah, today I just really didn't know what to talk about. I knew that I did need to and wanted to make a video. I just didn't know what to talk about, so I'm kind of just freeballing it right now. And that's okay. So, you know, um, what else? I just hope this is, valuable to you and, you know, because it took me a while to understand these things about codependency and, my, uh, my codependency, my reactions to people and things like that. Um, so I'll talk about negative traits of codependency, or like, atypical, or like just just traits that people tend to not understand, or like not under like get why they are codependent. So for example, um wanting to isolate myself, wanting to avoid people, wanting to neglect my relationships, not be around people, and just kind of be by myself. Um, Codependency. I mean, it again. You have to go back to what is the intent. What is my intention for doing this? So, is it to avoid people? Is it to get away from unpleasant situations? Is it to, um, isolate you from toxic people? Is it to what? What is the intention there? And so there can be good reasons for, isolating. Like, and I'm saying this, within context of, you don't want to like isolate and be a hermit your whole life and just stay away from people your whole life. That's not healthy. But like, for example, toxic people in your life not taking their phone calls. That's an easy one. For example, um, people who are angry and violent with you. That's an easy one to to avoid and isolate from. Um, people who make you uncomfortable, or like make fun of you, or like uh act superior to you. That's another one. But also like, taking these things um in perspective, in stride, like, of course you don't want to like just avoid and just make that the main thing, that the main coping mechanism. Like, you know, if someone violates your boundaries, you might want to avoid them. But the healthy thing to do in most circumstances um, is to communicate your boundaries, communicate why you feel that that's inappropriate, and like your boundaries around that. So, for example, someone keeps calling you and calling you and calling you every single day, wanting to talk to you. Well, avoiding them is what I would do, but that's not always the healthiest thing. You would want to say, "Hey, man, can you stop calling me? Like, I have other things to do. I have a life to live. I have, things going on for me." So, things like that, you know. As I said in my previous video, codependency is getting your value from others. So, overextending yourself, can be one form of that. You know, saying yes when you really should have said no, or mean no. Um, Being passive aggressive with people. Hey John, can you help me move on Sunday? And then John would be like, sure. Like not really wanting to, but he's like, whatever, just because he can't say no. He doesn't feel like he can say no. and that's codependency. That's a sign of codependency. So all of this stuff, I can go on all day, day and night until I'm blue in the face about these subjects and topics and just like signs and symptoms of codependency and all this stuff. And I will make further future videos about that. But there's one thing about seeing the problems in it. It's another thing to it's one thing to like analyze those behaviors, and it's another thing to actually treat the symptoms, or like not treat the symptoms but treat the disease, like actually work to cure, or just like, yeah, cure, I guess, would be one word, to help your codependency. Because without help, without the 12 steps, without some kind of spiritual counseling or codependency counseling, we can't do this alone. Like it's our own thinking that got us into this mess. Like we need counselors, we need coaches, we need sponsors, we need people in our lives who can see the problems and address them with you, and just kind of walk through the solutions with you as well. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for me, guys. So yeah, if you want me to like help you through this, I'm a codependency coach, so I haven't gotten the infrastructure up yet to kind of coach people or to help people like that yet. But if you want to, you can leave a comment and I will get to you back shortly. And I think you can leave your email. I think Google, or I think YouTube will block out your email. And basically I can get to you that way. I can see like the comments that have been like made private, kind of thing. So, or you can actually, best way to talk to me, best way to get into contact with me would be to go to my website, go to gibbotheshaman.com, and then towards the bottom of the page you'll see a contact us, contact me section where you can leave a message and you can leave your email and phone number and stuff like that. So yeah, I'll get back to you. Alright, guys, so yeah, in addition to that, like, I've found these practices over here so helpful. We have the Cosmic Qigong and the Cosmic Qigong and the Self-Transformation course. And that's the Self-Transformation Challenge. So like, even with codependency, like, this has helped me so much, like those practices right there. Because we're essentially, when we do those practices, those movements, we're actually learning to get our love from the universe and not from other people. So it's actually taking, it's actually pulling the universe's energy into us. And we're actually playing with that energy when we do those movements and things like that. And so for the self-transformation course, down here you see me doing some yoga poses and some yoga exercises. And yoga is another thing too that is so important for this too. Because yoga, well, the form that I do is called Kundalini yoga. And that is about opening up the chakras, opening up the, Kundalini, so it can rise up your spine and go to your crown chakra. And through this process of Kundalini, exercises, it basically helps you to mature with each each that's astrology. Each chakra and each you know, not each like system of the body, qigong operates with qi and shi and yi. Eventually you'll get up to yi, so you can just intend your reality. Shi is the power of the soul, and so once you do these exercises, it's opening up those kind of things within you, so that way you can basically achieve everything you want to achieve in life, and it just empowers you and helps you to do that. So on top of that, I have astrology courses, I have astrology readings, I have birth time rectification stuff, where I read your birth time through, or I figure out your birth time through your chart, and just main events that you've given me to work with, kind of thing. Rune readings. I also do rune readings, so if you wanna, like, those are kind of divination kind of things. So if you wanna check those out. I also do career coaching, life coaching, things like that. So I believe I offer something similar. I literally don't know what I put on my website. Like I forgot because I did it such a long time ago. So I think there is a life coaching option to purchase like an hour of my time, so we can chat about codependency and things like that for an hour. And yeah, I'll give you some homework, some things to do. And ideally I want people who will like stick with me, not just purchase an hour and then say, okay, bye. Because this is like a long-term process. And long-term can be 1 year, it can be shorter than that, and longer than that. It depends on the person, depends on their situation and all that stuff. But yeah, I really want to start working with people, and I'm going to update my website sometime this week to kind of reflect that, and I will post a link below. I'll probably post a link in the comment section when I have that done, like adjusted to, reflect like what I'm actually doing or teaching. So yeah, um, or offering, I guess would say. Yeah, and then I have my trauma healing course. On my Patreon, I also have an option to purchase a distance energy healing from me. So that's also very powerful. So yeah. Alright guys, so I'm going to leave you there, and I hope you have a wonderful January, and happy holidays and all that good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, so just glad to be back here, and I'll be posting, hope to be posting one video a week, one video on codependency, one video on astrology or spirituality or things like that a week. So fingers crossed, hopefully I get that done. and yeah, because I've been on hiatus for a long time, so good to be back with y'all, and good to have I honestly love the interactions between us. I love when people make comments and like talk. I get to talk with them, teach them a little bit, and just interact with the audience. So I love that. So please leave a comment down below. Please click that like button, and yeah, we will talk to you next time. Peace out.